So it might be wise to go bigger on that and then just have a game plan for where the extra, if there are any. That's what I would do. It's the last day.
It's like that. You know, the sixth grade board would take two.
That's true.
I couldn't imagine that at all. I know, that they're so conscious of their manners.
You're so close,
I know. I'm trying to back it up a little bit. Sorry, guys.
What was the parent's name who's donating the cupcakes?
Looked it up.
Kelly?
Oh, no.
She's a new parent. She just moved to the district. She was wanting to put red frosting on it, and I'm like, go
You want my
for it.
binder? Oh, you get some books.
Cheese configuration. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
Can we move the table this
Yeah,
way?
wanted to
Sorry,
donating it.
Yeah.
my belly's getting bigger. It's hard to squeeze this little guy.
I know, I signed them. My husband typically takes the picture and don't, and instead of that, I will.
You are not the only one.
I know I endorsed them. He normally just does them through the phone.
Do a panorama.
I thought they got it.
Well, 66.
Once I endorse them, I think that they get.
I remember that. I remember they didn't have it.
Yeah.
And you just bought how much we bought cakes. Jenny, they didn't have the cupcakes back. Postgate? Oh, yeah, Postgate. Jenny Postgate is the new mother.
Oh, Jen?
Okay.
Postgate is donating the cupcakes.
Okay, I downloaded it. Where'd I put it?
Okay, so does anybody need an agenda? No? Minutes? Okay, so I am calling the meeting to order. Very late. And just for everybody to know, so this year we've been video broadcasting, and so it's live, and you guys can decide whether you want to do that next year or not.
Tell if people are watching, or do they have to log in, or how many, if people are?
I know one person that watches each month.
I know one other person who watches.
Some people watch it later too.
Bella's mom. Bella Montoya and
That's nice.
Yeah, the fact that they can watch it later makes it.
And they can enter questions if they wanted to. So, okay. So the first item is to approve the April minutes. Are there any changes?
spelling corrections of.
I put them in there before I printed them, so I don't think
Yeah,
we have
and
to note it here.
Yeah,
Okay, great.
and I
So-
posted it with
So I
fixed.
moved to
Okay.
approve the minutes.
Okay, does anybody second the? Okay. Okay, all in favor of approving the minutes? Okay, any opposed? No, okay, so we've approved the minutes. Reports of officers. Treasurer's report, Kristen.
Yep, we're rolling in it, guys. We were very successful this year getting grants from other places. JAB, Lano Foundation, so much so that we have a $17,000 carryover from this year to next year, which is fantastic because we already have line items for them to go on, which has always been a problem in the past. So well, that's my list of people who need to cash their checks. Hold on, let's see. Get the bottom here. So as far as like what we have left outstanding, we still have about, hold on a second. Where's it? We have about $16,000 outstanding, including invoices from Biodidact who got lost in the mail evidently. They didn't cash their check for 2 months. So I called them today to find out why, and it's because they moved and clearly they can't forward the mail to the new place. And then people with their med money, Southwest Food Service for reading night, that check is still outstanding. So is the one for the playground equipment, Scholastic Book Fair, field trips, scholarship, 4th grade swimming, gardens, some paper that we purchased for the school, and senior night And then there's one grant request today and some teacher appreciation money. But then that leaves us with a balance for next year of $17,000. So my recommendation, I cannot pass your budget for next year, but I can recommend what I would suggest for your budget since I've been doing it for the past 2 years. And what I've kind of come across is there are some areas that our budget does not seem to address. And one of the things was money for Mrs. Guy to kind of like support her in her endeavors to support the staff. Oftentimes you will go into her office and she'll have like 3 or 4 books that she purchased for like $150 sitting on her desk that she's distributing to people. So if there's a way that we can help her defray some of those costs, I put a line item up for next year for potentially $750 to help support those types of things. Aspen does it. There's other schools that do it. It's not just unique to us, but at the same time, if we can help her, let's try to help her. The other thing that I would like to start is, and again, this has nothing to do with me, this has to do with you guys, is we are the only school that has before school programming. And right now it's kind of coming out of their own pocket. And Jenny, maybe you know more about this than I do. So they open the doors at 7:30 in the morning here for running club, for some tutoring, for some other before school activities for parents who previously were just dropping their kids off at Urban Park and letting them play for 45 minutes.
It was like chess club too in the morning.
Chess club, but that one doesn't cost anything because that's a parent volunteer. And so what we're trying to do is, so this year what they have is Tony comes in for 3 days a week and does running club, and he's doing it I think at a Hyde. I don't know what his. I don't know if he's getting compensated for it or not.
Get a stipend.
Yeah.
Does he get a stipend? Okay, then I'm not sure who he gets it from because he doesn't get it from us.
School district.
Okay, well, we're trying to help support that because if the more money that we can contribute to the school district, the more they can allocate their funds for different things. So we would like to be able to like contribute $1,000 to help support that activity in the morning because it's clearly beneficial to have the kids not running around Urban Park unattended. and we drop our kids off early in the morning. And it's well attended. It's not like it's 1 or 2 kids. It's probably like 20 or 30.
Yeah, because there's also the computer lab.
Yeah.
And then for the upper grades, there's Mr. Smith's room.
Right.
So yeah, there's several
Okay.
different
Well,
places.
the only one that I was asked to address was the physical fitness piece of it. But if there's an opportunity for next year to expand it, that's something you guys have to consider. So
does every kid who's dropped off early have a place to go? I mean, are they on the playground and somebody's watching?
No,
them?
they're not on the playground.
They're not allowed to be on the playground.
Yeah.
Until 8 o'clock. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's
So-
before 8 o'clock. I mean, they do have
From
band and
six,
orchestra, but then there's the other kids that are not doing those activities. They're here. They might be siblings.
it's usually the littler ones. It's usually the kindergartners and first
that
graders.
need to be watched.
Yeah.
Do they have to sign in?
Yes.
How is it?
There's
Yeah.
a sign in up front.
Right.
Tammy's often the one, she's up front, making sure that they're signed in. They have to have permission slips so that we had contact information. I mean, we had everything for that, so that we knew who was allowed and who had permission.
Okay.
And it all got set up in the beginning of the year because we couldn't just have them sitting in the front office. And it honestly is something that's been going on in many of the other schools for a long time, because when I was at Veronica, it was the same thing, that they were just kind of sitting in the front office from about 7:40 on in that front space, because for so many of the parents, they have to be at work at a certain time.
Well, and a
when the
lot of it's
kids
like
can't-
middle school teachers. They have to be at work at 7:30.
Yeah.
So they were they weren't able to accommodate their children the way that they were hoping to. So in an effort to address those issues, we have $1,000 to be able to kind of allocate towards that for next year. Whether or not you guys choose to allocate more to it, that's your decision. But I'm proposing that we at least try. And then the other thing that's kind of new is there's going to be Miss Schaefer is going to Carnegie Mellon University this summer. So I get to spend some time with her in Pittsburgh. And she is going to do a robotics program at Carnegie Mellon. And so whenever she comes back, I think that they're going to try to do a after-school program to accommodate, I think, up to 60 children were the robotics. And so the cost for, I think and Karen, you might know, it was like $1,000 for new equipment they wanted.
Oh, I don't know what they want for new equipment.
Okay.
I just know what they bought last year.
Oh, okay, so maybe I misheard what she said. I thought she said she wanted new equipment. Maybe
I don't know. Well, last year they bought 4 new EV3 robot, Rhinestone's EV3 robots, and they already found the ones Mr. Felton used to have. They found them, the older version of those they found here.
Okay.
So they had something like 8 robot kits.
These are the Lego.
The Lego
Yeah.
robot kits. So the EV3 ones were the ones Mrs. Guy bought last year.
Okay.
And I don't know what they want to buy new.
So I was under the impression that in order to scale it for 600 people, they need more robots. So, and I don't know if that's the case or not.
I don't know. I haven't
we had
been part of
10
that
kids.
discussion with them.
Okay. We had
I
10
just
kids on
found
one
out.
robot.
Yeah. You can do 10 kids per robot.
Yeah. It's not much fun.
It can be done.
So I think the goal would be to give them $1,000 for materials and then $3,000 to staff it for, I think it was two days a week at like an hour after school. So that's the intent behind that. And again, like I said, we can't pass the budget for next year right now.
But we can't pay teachers, the staff.
It would be like the tutoring program. It's this. It would be reimbursed the same way that the Casamacita grant would be reimbursed for tutoring.
You're basically reimbursing the district.
Yes.
You're giving money, you're donating money to the district to pay stipends.
Thank you.
That's what
I
it
just
is.
got confused.
We're not
about how
actually paying teachers.
No.
That's what I was confused.
I was just identifying the fact that it's staff so that people knew what the money was going to. So that's the intent behind these things. Those are really the only 2 things that I kind of changed. They were additions. And then we have the carryover from this past year. Let me put it on here. Budget 1, budget 2. Where are you? Budget? This one, okay. And then, so the carryover from this year's budget, because we had so many generous donors to us, it's down in this little tiny bottom corner, $17,000. Administrative costs, the costs to do the taxes, the costs to do the insurance, etc. Fundraising expenses at $2,500, which is, I think, $700 goes to Fun Run, the rest of it goes to Carnival. Jane, if you think you need more money than what you have, speak now, forever hold your
Oh,
peace.
yeah, probably.
Okay. So we can retool that. Mad Money, $2,300 just to get the year started. Usually we average about $6,000 in Mad Money receipts every year so far. 6th grade ropes is paid for the fall. We already have the money for it, or $1,500 for it. Family breakfast, $700. We had $400 this year. Poor Julia was dividing the food for the masses.
I think it worked out fine.
It did, but maybe if we doubled the budget.
We had twice as many as people we normally have.
Yeah, right.
I would relook at, we've been getting Ruby K's bagels and they're delicious, but it's a real pain to get them here on time and they're really expensive.
Yeah,
so there's definitely other options out there that we could do. So.
And even SFB could help cater it too, make life a little bit easier.
That's true too.
The food service people.
Oh, okay.
But that's up to you guys.
So, what you itemized there, that's where the 17K goes to pay?
For next year.
So that's what you're earmarking that 17K for?
Because you can't have 17K
Right.
just sitting in an account.
Right.
You have to have it line item.
And so that all adds up to the 17?
About, yeah.
Okay.
And I estimated what it was going to cost for the field trips because I don't have an invoice yet. I estimated what the cost was for swimming because I don't have an invoice yet. So based on last year's numbers, this is what our next
Carry
year's-
over. So basically, you can't, a nonprofit, you can't carry over
Right.
money unless it's earmarked. And so she's earmarking it to that allocation. Of course, we can adjust it
next year.
next year.
Yes.
And then ideally, we have more donations coming in with
Yeah.
Carnival and Fun Run.
Right.
After.
So, Kristen, I can't see that
Okay,
very
sorry.
well from where I'm at, so if it may be up there, is graduation added back in?
No, I didn't put it back in as a line item. I just have it as a grant request. So that's
Okay,
all it
for next
requires.
year? For next year, will it be a grant request too? Because I thought it used to be a line item.
It did, but it got cut out when we were trying to save money for playground.
But I'm just saying it should be, but I meant for our next year budget, we need to put it as a line
Okay,
item. Because it historically has always been a
Yeah.
line item.
I would say, I mean.
Even though this
I
year
think
we
this year
have,
is an anomaly,
Yeah.
just because I mean, it's hard to even get parents to want to help,
Oh, yeah,
much
totally.
less to donate all the stuff.
so we're fortunate this year that looks like everybody's gonna be donating and stuff, but just in case this guy's putting out a grant, just in case they
Okay.
decide
I
last
have the
minute.
grant
Right.
here, too.
How much is it?
100?
As a line item.
I don't know,
It was
it's
$200.
$200, it wasn't very much.
Well, if we get a little gift for the kids, like we get the little middle school backpacks, which we did last year, and then there's food. So she has a request here for 500.
Yeah, she just wanted in case someone decided
Yeah.
to turn in receipts when, it was just a text. Yes, I'll donate the cupcakes.
I'm sorry, I'm really confused. If we have $17,000 carryover, why did we cut a line item from the budget?
Because at that time, we didn't get all those grants. Whenever I was scrimping and saving to find $7,000 for playground equipment, we didn't get the Lano Foundation grant. We
So
didn't
you
get
got
the
$17,000 in the last month?
because people don't, the school paid for the playground equipment, which was close to $10,000. The Lano Foundation gave us like $1,500, Jack gave us another $1,500. So we got a lot of money.
And we
got a
got
boatload of money.
when we had the armchair fundraiser in the spring to pay
Yeah.
for we didn't even have to use that.
But we didn't know that until
We didn't know that until
after we did
the
it.
school district approved to pay for the condemned climbing wall.
Okay.
But there was a lot of cutting in February from our budget that
Yeah.
we did, I think,
So you're
did
wondering.
premature back.
Yeah, well, yeah, and anything can be put back in the budget. I was
Yeah.
just wondering why we cut it if we have so much money now.
Because we
We
didn't.
didn't have the money until the last month.
Right.
Yeah, so we didn't get the Good Job Foundation grant until a month ago, right? Less than a month ago.
Delivery center.
All this money, I think what happened was that people were trying to spend their money and we were the only people applying.
Yeah.
So, okay, twist my arm.
Okay, I have a question. So what does the fun run have to make?
15,000 next year.
15,000?
Yep. 15,000 for fun run next year and 5,000 for carnival.
15,000, what did we make this year?
13,500. But our goal was 20,000.
Right, I don't recall that.
What'd you say for the carnival?
Carnival's goal is,
Five.
hold on, let me see. Here, carnival ticket sales 5,500. And I think we did 5,800 in sales this year.
And that was also a jump up too.
It was $1,000. Yep.
Yeah, I just, if you want to be, I'm just wondering if 5,500 as a budget, if we know that last year was a huge increase over previous years, if 5,500 is too much to expect.
Well, the previous year for fun run was $20,000 and we only got 13,500. So I think it's a goal. It doesn't have to be a hard, and the fact that we're already flush with 17 grand.
Okay.
So
And Kristen,
Yes.
I heard that the PTA is going to do yearbook next year.
Yes.
Is that-
Yes,
we
we will be doing
It's
yearbook.
we are.
Yes, and we're gonna use that as add a couple dollars to the straight up cost, and we'll get a couple dollars as profit, and then we'll get that to you guys. That's coming back, because you guys currently don't make money from the yearbook, but other schools are making, apparently.
Yeah.
That I've heard from this. Jackie?
Okay, do you have more to report?
Unless anybody has any more questions, good job, everyone.
What are the final numbers for the book fair?
The final, okay, so we had an issue with book fair because I was under the impression that we got 50% of sales. We only get 25% of sales. I did not know that. I thought we got 50% of sales. So the final numbers for the book fair, dun, da, da, da. It's up here. Fundraising. Okay, is 1573.81 as cash, and we so we really made 2,073.81. I turned in $500 cash for $1,000 of Scholastic bucks, but the books for next year's reading night should be done. There should be no more additional right? Because you have a ton of books left over from this past year.
We do. We have 3 boxes.
Yeah. So there shouldn't be any more, next year we should be even.
Yeah.
And then, so we should only be paying for food next year for reading it.
So did we end up making more money selling the junk with the books?
About $200 more.
Okay.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
It just sounded like more because that's how we made 8,000 cat.
No, we made 4,000. We made 8,000 total, 4,000 cash, which of that 2,000 belonged to us
Okay, but it was income was 8,000 from the book fair.
total.
Total. Okay, that's what I meant.
So what happens?
That was really good, actually, more than normal.
That's
But
what
then
I
we
would
get
say.
only profit.
Can I just ask, so what happens with this scholastic dollars? Does the librarian just spend it then?
I don't know. I honestly, that's not something that we've
So
ever
I can
managed.
probably speak to that.
Okay.
So a lot of times we would try, the scholastic dollars are, it's a little confusing because you think, oh, I can get anything, but the choice is limited. I know that I have used them before for green slip books and tried to build up that collection up there. I don't know whether we reading that before.
I think well, Maryland was always generous.
So they said they as far as I remember, and they may have changed it, but the last time I did, all of the dollars in his name. So they used to be in Miss Branton's name, and then we would have to go to use what was ours. But it said which book fair, it knew how much was the scholastic dollars that she had in her account. And she, Mrs. Branton, used to always say, okay, you have this much, so go ahead. And she actually just let me sit at her computer and gave me her password and just let me go in and order what we wanted, using scholastic dollars from her account, using that portion that was from that spring book fair.
And based on my interaction with Scholastic, that sounds right, because I didn't have an account. It was Mountain Elementary that had an account.
Right.
So
And that's what I did also.
Right.
I used her account and did it. You know, whether she may have given additional dollars that she had also.
And one year, Miss O'Brien actually had asked for books for 6th grade to add to her library in her classroom. And we found quite a few, even with the limitations you could get. We just bought the damaged books, actually. They're called damaged, but you really, they're not any more damaged than like the ones that have been used once in the library. So we bought a lot of books for her from the damaged section that were age appropriate. So you can get a lot of books that way. using the damaged section.
The other way that might be more preferable is at an actual book fair. I believe you can use your scholastic dollars, so you know you have a better selection typically.
Oh, okay.
And so that's something to think about if you know you want to buy
Yeah,
them.
Ms. Branton would do that.
Yeah.
She knew how much she had allocated in dollars, and she would go through the shelves and pull stuff out of the book fair and set them aside and add it all up.
Okay.
And then she knew that she could use those, and she would just keep them until the book fair was over. Then turn in the receipt for that.
Well, I can tell you for the past 2 years, I've done none of that. So we either have $2,000 in Scholastic bucks sitting somewhere, or
And they expired.
And we used it, actually, I
You
did.
did?
Yeah,
Okay.
last year.
That's what I thought you used it for
The
reading.
last
I'm
night.
glad
couple of
someone did.
years, Marilyn would just say, here's the password,
Yeah.
and I would buy books for reading.
Okay, great.
And then this year, Sarah O'Brien used the Scholastic dollars for
Okay.
Maryland both times. So we kind of went, I think we've gone through everything that we have until.
This is the last one. Okay.
Right.
Well, that's good to know. Because I had no idea how to do
And
that.
they do expire.
Yeah. Okay. So if we're all cut up and we just have the fresh stuff in the spring, I feel confident it'll be okay for next year. So as far as that is concerned, unless anyone has any other questions, I'm done. Good luck. Have fun. It's been real.
And you're gonna be sending a copy of that too.
What?
Can you send that?
Barney's-
All right, got it.
She's all good, man. Don't worry about her. She's got my cell phone on direct dial.
Okay. Let's see. I don't have anything under mine. It's all under new business. So membership report.
Oh, we actually have 2 new members. So I put them in for this year and I'll see if they can carry over for next year since
Okay,
it's on the last month.
okay.
So anyway,
They're not incoming kinders, right?
no, one was,
Smith.
yes. So she needed a membership so she can attend the conference.
Yeah, and
Coming
be elected.
Okay.
Okay, we don't
Well, I'll
have,
just ask. Last year,
Jenny, do you know
we
where
had a
she
couple
was?
that did it
So
in
the,
April and
the
they
home
let it
with the
just go for
turquoise
this.
pots that you walk by, that's Bari.
I love those cards. Love your flower bed right in front.
If you do like pulling a TV, so do mine.
Yeah.
I'll just tell
I was curious about
okay. So,
I knew you were.
on to new business since Miss Guy was pulled away. Election of treasurer and VP. So we had Allie Renner step down for next year, and we have a candidate each for treasurer and vice president. So I don't know, Vari, what's
Yeah.
your last name? McKeisman. So we have Vari McKeisman running for treasurer and Erin Middleton for vice president. We needed to vote for each of those individually, right?
Yeah, independently vote.
Okay, so we'll vote for VP first. Since there's no one running against her, we can do a show of hands. So all in favor of electing Erin Middleton as VP for next year?
Yeah, I think you did.
Any opposed? No. Okay, congratulations, thank you. And
Here are your kids in.
I have 11 incoming kindergartners, and then I have a treasurer full grade right now. Second, and then
Oh, not third.
a 1-year-old.
We have kids all the same age.
okay, so now we'll have a vote for Vari for treasurer. So all in favor? Any opposed? Okay. I think we have an elected treasurer. Thank you. Okay, moving on. So we have the logo entries for these are for the shirts for next
There's some
year.
nice ones in there and some really cute ones.
So I'm going to scan them and send them to present and future officers and interested parties who want to help decide. So if you want to help decide, you can email me and I'll include you on this.
Yeah, the last couple I didn't get straight
Okay.
flattened as much as you.
Okay, so Ms. Guy is back. So did you want to have anything to report?
First, I would like to thank our current PTA board for all of your hard work this year. I appreciate you guys. And I have a little gift for our outgoing PTA board members.
That'd be only me.
Outgoing, let you go yet. But I do appreciate all your hard work. And I appreciate everything you guys have done for us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We do.
And until we suck you back over here. Thank you for all you've done. Thank you. We appreciate it. Very much. Great job.
But Jane's not really leaving.
So we can't, so we can't believe it's May already here. It seems like it kind of snuck up. Upcoming things for you guys to be aware of. We have the All District Band concert tomorrow evening. It's a great chance if you can have a chance to go. It's a great chance to see all the district bands, all the fifth and sixth graders from around town and middle school and high school. So it's usually a good show. It's at 7 o'clock at Dwayne Smith Auditorium.
No.
No?
It's in the gym.
It's in the gym. Oh, it's in the gym.
Yeah, they couldn't fit all those elementary schools and kids on.
You're right, that is true. So it is in the gym. I need to correct that.
Griffin gym, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good note. We have coming up just the family picnic, which you guys probably have already talked about. Did you guys talk about? family
No,
picnic?
not yet.
On the
I talked about
18th, along with the elementary track meet is also on the 18th. And so then they'll come back and go to that. You guys are sending the sixth graders to the ropes course on the 19th, which we appreciate. And the Juvenile Justice Advisory Board ended up giving us a $1,500 donation to support that ropes course. And they sent me an email, and it looks like they're going to recommend to their board. Their board hasn't met yet. They won't meet until the first week in June, but they're going to recommend that they consider funding that same amount again next year. And so, which would be a huge, because they feel like it's a nice team building
Are they
opportunity.
doing it for all the schools?
They are. So this
Yeah.
year they funded it for us, and next year, yes, they're going to reach out to all 5 elementaries. And it's something that all 5 elementaries do.
Right,
And
because
so
I
they're
know
gonna
some of the
reach out to all
kids
of
sell
them.
donuts so they could go.
Yeah.
At other schools.
Yeah, so they are going to reach out and support all of them with an equal amount, which I think will be nice.
Are we still asking parents for?
You know
We don't
what, we need to sit down and look and see, because with that donation, I'm not sure what that does to our amounts. We may not need to do that.
Okay.
But you would know better, but certainly that's a good conversation to have.
I think it's $2,200 for the high ropes, isn't
I think it was almost 28, right?
Oh,
Well, yeah, I
28?
think it's
Okay.
closer to 3,000.
Was it? Okay.
And we have 500 from the foundation. So that means we have 2,000.
Right.
Okay. Then
So,
I think
okay.
we
We won't charge anything else this
I
time.
think you can cover, because we're getting ready to write the parent letter and everything.
we have
So
$17,000.
Okay. So I'll let you two guys touch base and decide if that's something that you feel like that we need, or we still need the parents to chip in. Fourth grade swimming is underway. They're going every Tuesday this month from 1 to 3:30
We have 2/3 of the parents contribute.
to visit them. Good. And lessons went well last time. They all came back. Nobody drowned. It was good.
We have,
Um,
we need, yeah. We could send
I think that is the main, those are the main things. Or that last week of school, we could get out half a days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday is still our last day of school. Elementary students have enough contact hours that we don't have to make up the snow day. Where you'll hear that the high school is making up those contact hours, and it's just a little bit different in our schedule. So we will still get out at noon the 25th. We'll have sixth grade, our moving up ceremony at 10 o'clock that morning. This week's Teacher Appreciation Week, which you guys
it.
are.
We have
There's K-Cups.
K-Cups in
Syrup.
the lounge.
Yeah.
Bagels coming tomorrow morning, and Starbucks is donating coffee for the morning.
Awesome, they'll be excited. And we recently got a Keurig machine, so the staff will be excited to have actual coffee. Because at first everybody was kind of like, okay, how does this work? So yeah, they will be excited about that. We do have the talent show coming up on the 11th at 10:30 in the morning. If you guys want to come, it'll be fun. The staff is doing a little number. A little nervous about that. It's one of those things you agree to, and then you find out Rihanna's like
Is it as good as like last year's? when
Oh,
you guys did?
it's just as good as last year.
That was pretty impressive.
Somebody take it from.
So that's kind of where we're at. We're just kind of in finish up mode. Does anybody have any questions or something you guys I can answer for you? Yes.
For the family picnic, when you'll send out invitations, right? Can you make sure it includes mention of the popsicles?
I definitely will. And the popsicles will not be an issue. The parent that raised the issue had some concerns when we did them in the fall this year. but we will notify them that the popsicles will be available.
Okay, and I was thinking we would have some fruit on hand too, like we did last time.
Okay.
So the alternative. But kids came and got some of the fruit. Yeah.
Okay. I will
So-
note
It was
that.
like the last thing to go. Wasn't it? Well, the bananas and the apples, they're like,
Okay.
Okay, I'll note that. Anything else? And we're gonna start that at 11:30, right?
Anybody in kindergarten?
And we had an excellent week on the reading month. It was interesting because we had a ton of our incoming kindergartners. That sounds great. Okay. So that was kind of nice.
Yeah, I did remind all the incoming kinder families that signed up for the PTA mailing list. So, yeah, okay.
Anything else?
We had a great cleanup
Is
day
there anything
yesterday.
that PTA can do to, for Mrs. Busts family?
I think one of the things that a couple of people had talked about was doing some kind of plant or something for the garden outside her classroom, which I think might be a very nice idea. We had talked about doing a memorial plaque, similar to a couple of the others, maybe for.
Well, I don't know if we, well, wait, a memorial plaque for Miss Russ or for her son?
For her son.
Well, not a student at the school.
Right,
So
so
I don't
we
think
don't
we
want
should
to.
do a memorial
Okay.
plaque. That sets a precedent to
To do
doing it.
further. I agree.
Yeah, we don't want, I'm just,
there was an alternative too, though, and the alternative was if you look at the obituary, they are establishing a fund for their daughter.
The
And
kids, yeah.
perhaps maybe our money's better spent giving a
You're probably right.
a better a nice contribution
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah.
So
That might be nice.
so perhaps maybe something we should talk about before we get out of here. Is how much we would want to, as a school or the PTA, donate to that.
And even have the conversation, is it appropriate as a PTA too? Is that something we
Yeah.
need to? I'm not sure.
I'm for it, but I don't know how other
yeah,
people.
I think we need to talk about that.
And you
I
guys can.
think-
I think we need to talk about today is my point.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I know, I'm just saying that we don't, I mean, I'm just doing a business like, I know,
Yeah.
but not a worker at the school, not a student at the school. So
And-
we just need to make sure, because it can, it's a precedent. If you start doing it, you can't, we have 450 kids here, right? And the staff members included that. So we have to make sure we do it one time, you can't just do it one time. You're gonna start a precedent.
And so another avenue may be that the kids, I've had several parents from her class that have contacted me and from prior classes saying, can we organize something? So that might be a better avenue to go, is to help them organize that effort, but make it directly from those parents and those students rather than through the PTA. And we can certainly.
I know we have plenty of plants on this garden that we've had planted in memory of students who passed, and they just contact me and they bring them and I plant them. And they personally know about them. There's sometimes not even signs. So
Yeah.
we can always do that.
So I think either direction, I think that's a good conversation for you guys to have. And I think you make some valid points because we have a lot of different, we currently have a situation with a student whose father had a heart attack. And so has been airlifted. He's currently in ICU. I mean, so there's a
Yeah,
great deal of
it just keeps
potential
on
for it to
going.
grow.
Yeah.
So it may be a better avenue to funnel and to organize, to help the parents organize. But they're doing okay though. And thank you for asking, but they are doing okay. And in fact, she's back at work too. And so we hired a substitute to give her some extra support this week, but she really felt like she wanted to get on that. So she wanted to come in. So I don't think she necessarily was but she wanted to come in. And so you guys can discuss that further. Other than that, is there anything else?
We had a very good cleanup with on this day.
Yeah.
Mountains Day. Even on a snowy day, we had teachers show up, we had superintendent show up, and we had families show up. And I think it was really great. We didn't get to the third grade beds, but Miss Clayton said that's okay because her third graders can actually work while the kindergarten first graders, we kind of took care of those beds first. So.
Excellent. So that's really all I had. If anybody else has any questions, I'm probably forgetting things. I'd like to do some kind of meeting with PTA with the new board at some point, beginning of July, or, at some point before the school year starts next year. To just kind of touch base and answer questions you guys may have, or do whatever you guys need to do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you.
Would it be appropriate to, like, when I send out the next PTA reminder, to mention about Mrs. Russ' son, or don't? That does.
At this point, I wouldn't.
Okay.
So what we did, and we notified, just so you know.
Okay.
So we notified in writing, we wrote a letter to all of the second and third grade families, because those kids had had her for 2 years. Thank you, Kristen, for that advice. We debated a long time, do we send it to the school at large, or do we not? That felt kind of big. The notice came out in the paper. I think it feels like it's in a good place right now. Feel free to share it individually with anybody that you think would like to know. It's not a secret.
Okay.
I mean, it happened, and she's okay with us sharing everybody. It's kind of always hard in that situation to know, from an administrative level, how wide
Right.
you need to reach. We did send it out to all school employees. And so, because Mrs. Rust has worked in several different school sites and for many years with the schools. But we have a lot of, 5th and 6th graders that never had her as a teacher. The families don't know her. So we were kind of on this, like, Jen Schmer and I debated a long time, how widely do we need to reach out? And we finally kind of settled on to a little bit smaller group, but certainly if you know of somebody that maybe didn't get the information that thinks that they need it.
Okay.
Impact, we made a few phone calls with those that were in some of the older grades that we weren't sure knew, that we thought would want to know.
And she is still reading assistant next year, not a second grade teacher next year.
Potentially she's going to make a different change, but she is not ready to share that with it publicly yet. So we're kind of still looking at staffing for next year and how that's going to fall.
Because sometimes that question comes next.
Yes. And that's, to be honest with you, has changed twice this morning, just with the staff in general. So it's that time of year where people are kind of deciding what they want to do next year. People are kind of saying, oh, I think I might do this, and so that will all settle, and we'll have final staffing decisions by the middle of May for sure to send home. And at that point, we'll send a letter out to everybody and say, these are going to be the teachers in this grade level in this area next year. But right now, I'm not comfortable saying that, because I think we will have some change stuff.
Okay. We're running out of time, so just the last couple of things. So we're okay on 6th grade graduation.
Yes, we have a grant request, and we just need to get that approved.
Okay, and that's what Kristen has?
Yes, it's open-ended. Yes. Just 2 grant
They're
requests.
the same.
That's okay. And then I have a grant request for
Doesn't matter.
second grade about writing journals.
Okay, so let's do that real quick.
Okay, so second grade has a writing journals and handbooks for next year. Is that still good? Okay. And to support the second graders with their writing, each second grade teacher will use the books for the next class. There isn't any money left in the school budget for it, so they're asking us to foot the bill, and I'm
How much is it for?
it is for $342
Plus tax.
plus tax, but I can NTTC that.
Oh, yeah, no tax.
Corrected.
Plus tax for people who won't go through the bother of getting the NTTC, but I will go through the bother of getting the NTTC. So it's $342 for writing journals for the entire incoming second grade class. So
Any questions? Anybody would like to make a motion to approve?
Karen, am I allowed to?
Yes,
Okay.
you can.
Okay. I thought if I was the only
No,
great
you
requester,
can't.
I make the motion. After 2 years, I still don't know.
I move.
I move to
Make-
do this.
I second the motion.
Thank you.
Okay, all in favor? Okay. Any opposed? Okay, it's unanimous. The motion has passed.
All right.
And you have a second grant?
And then the one for the 6th grade graduation. Karen, would you like to read that one while I write?
So basically, it's to pay for any need for people need reimbursements for cake, cupcakes, refreshments, decorations, cups, plates, not to exceed over $500.
Okay. Any questions?
There may actually be some decorations in there. I don't remember.
Yes, family who wants to
And
make
I
it.
think I think the families there. I think we have someone donating all the decorations.
Yeah, so yeah, it sounds like everybody's donating things, but we
Okay,
wanted
but I
to
mean,
make.
I don't remember what I used last year. I'm sure I put it up after I used it, but like there's some little balloon holders and some other stuff.
Get
So
in there and check, and they seem to have a pretty good.
They have an idea what they wanted to do.
Yeah,
Sound like an arch, right?
With balloons and.
Arch of balloons? Yeah.
and I mean, if they have stuff, you should keep it. Like if they don't want it after it's over and it's stuff that would keep it and put it in there.
This mama is a teacher in Santa Fe,
Okay.
and I think she's bringing all of her stuff from there.
Oh,
That they
okay,
could
so
just
she'll
use for their,
Oh.
that they're using for their ceremony, and then they're
Okay.
going to just switch the colors on the balloons. So
Okay.
It'll go back to them as well.
Okay.
That's what I understood. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, so I think it'll go back.
Okay, so questions? You ready to make a motion?
Motion, move.
Move.
I move. I don't get the right. 6th grade graduation request.
We won't read them. I wish we would.
Okay, do I have a second?
Seconded.
Okay, all in favor?
Sad.
Okay, any opposed? Okay, it's unanimous. The motion has passed. What else do we have? Okay, I wanted to mention EPI school supplies. We've got the kindergarten one up, and pretty soon we should have the rest of the grades available also. And then we have the family picnic. I'm gonna go and get the popsicles and fruit and get those popsicles frozen. So if any of you want to help out that day at the picnic, we set up a table and have the popsicles and have to use scissors to cut open the pops for the kids. So you can come help for a bit, go have lunch with your
Oh
family.
yeah, my hand freezes. So bring your mittens.
I have freezer space.
Okay,
That's
okay.
nice. Thank you.
So Susie says she has a freezer too. But okay. Is that it? Yeah.
I just wanted to, I have some pictures, so I just wanted to share a thank you for the Rubik's Cube Club. This is a picture of our big group from our advanced group. We did an 8x8 mosaic.
That's cool.
We have about 12 kids coming for the advanced Rubik's Cube Club now, 2 weeks in a row. I've got 2 kids now working on designing mosaics in addition to making them. And so the first week we've had the beginners, they're starting to come. We had about 10 kids between 4th through 6th grade come and start learning, and they are just as excited as can be. And we've got a couple of the more advanced kids also coming and helping them learn so that we can break them up into smaller groups.
What time are you doing?
I'm doing it at lunchtime so that everybody is able to participate. So they're doing a really good job. Oh, it's fine.
Can we get some of those pictures?
Yeah.
And then we'll put it in the booklet?
Yeah, but they're doing a really good job. So as we find them, they also did a gradient one the first week where they just decided to change up all the colors, and they're just having a blast. So thank you very, very much. They were very excited.
So did we need to talk about what we wanted to do for Mrs. Rust, or no?
So, yeah, we do need to talk about it, because if we're
Okay.
gonna spend money, we gotta spend it now.
So
I'm gonna sign that.
what are your thoughts? Like, do you feel like we as a PTA should do something, or just people do it individually?
I personally think it should be individual. I don't mean to be rude about it or anything.
I think you're right. I guess it just seems like as PTA we support the students and the staff and the teachers,
Right.
and just as a just as a group to just say, we're.
Yeah,
I don't think
I
it necessarily means, I just think it comes differently if it was coming from me as from all of us as a group.
I'm not against it, and I guess I'm not like looking to give like $5,000. I guess my thought was like $100 ish, and like a sunshine fund. If I don't know, I guess
It's like if we have birthday cards, right?
yeah,
to
right.
teachers,
You do birthday cards and lunches and stuff like that. This is slightly more significant, and I don't even know if $100 is even enough to.
Nothing's enough, right?
No,
but just the.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, I think the most I really like Jennifer's suggestion of helping organize, because I think if PTA just helped and let the second and third grade parents know, hey, look, there's this opportunity. If I mean, I guess they know from the newspaper article that they can contribute, but it might be a little more personal coming from the PTA at the school to say, hey, we're organizing if you would like to donate, and just help that way, and maybe just a card. I mean, I think that would be
A card.
so.
I, as a parent of a kid in her class, I don't know who knows and who doesn't, but it would be great to have a way to contact everyone, because I don't know enough people to contact them. And if the PTA, I don't know how you could help, but if you could, I don't know, like if you're interested in joining a list to contribute something together, and I'm happy to even be a contact if you wanted a person, but I think it would be nice as a student in a class to do something together, but I certainly have no idea how to do it. And I agree, a card or something would be nice, I think, in a sunshine, acknowledge kind of way, but I'm happy as a parent to contribute separately. I just don't know how to do it.
So what we can do is we can provide the vehicle using PayPal to create a way for parents to donate. Just have anything that's been donated.
No, I don't think we should set up a donation thing. I think the PTA shouldn't do that. I think that's what the parents should do. Redirect people.
So they already have.
Yeah, we can give information, but we're not gonna set up an account and do a PTA.
No, I'm not setting up an account, just using our vehicle to put the money.
So they already have an account set up in LEND.
It's not important.
I have another parent that volunteered to head it up to. What if we provided the information and gave it out to that, send it out to everybody to contact this parent to gather those donations? Does that make sense?
I think it does, and I've been to LAMB and given to a memorial account before, but if you just provided that information, and so they could even send the check to school, just somehow to make it easier and to organize. I think that would be a very nice gesture, and it wouldn't be money coming out of PTA's budget to set a precedent or whatever. But I think organizing, I mean, just like Erin said, I mean, she's very interested, but doesn't have a way to. So I think that's a good idea.
And so oddly, it's been a rough year for the staff. We've had 7 different, pretty significant lives of parents, staff members that have lost pretty significant others this year. Of course, it's not like losing a child, but we've had a lot of loss. Another group, one of the staff members they had set up a fund for the cost, kind of through LAMB. And so what we did is we collected, and then on the card, we put a donation was made to the account in this amount in this memory, so that staff member knew that as a staff that this is what we did. Because it kind of goes in blind and they don't know necessarily.
Right.
And so it kind of just acknowledged that effort and let that person know that as a staff we had gone together.
Yeah, just to say parents of second and third graders made a donation in this.
To this account.
And there's no reason to get PTA involved. If somebody, but it would just be nice, for me, it would just be nice to have staff.
Right, I just, because she did, I mean, it's just,
there's
and just looking at it as a corporation, when you work in the office, we don't give donations to a parent,
Right,
it's just, it becomes a precedent And
Well,
we're gonna,
there are so many, and
and
like
there's-
you said.
and then you're like, oh, well, we did, PTA got involved with Mrs. Ross, but didn't get involved with whomever was the other person. Or we didn't, pay for the signs for, those were donated by different people to put them in the gardens, by actually, people who are not even PTA members pay for those signs and put them in the gardens. Cause they just did it themselves.
Why don't I work with Aaron and Kristen and we get an email together to send out to all of that group and get some more specific details on if they want to contribute, how they can do that. For, for example, they can send the money to school and we'll have a designated person to collect that. And then we can, maybe Kristen can take that to the bank for us, designate that, and then we can get paper. So we can work on that.
Yeah, because we want to have us bring a check to school, then we can sign the cards. Parents do whatever, yeah,
With the office,
Yeah.
and then it would be there, and I could sign the card and put the paper in. And if one person can serve as that point person, to take it to the bank, to get it deposited into that account.
And find out who to make checks to.
Yeah, that's-
Tell parents who to write the check to.
Because inevitably we'll be getting
PTA.
And I'm telling you, because I've already had this sort of experience. So,
So we'll get some details from that, and then
Sounds
we'll
good.
work on it together. But we'll get it done.
thank you
Is that
guys.
okay?
Okay,
Okay.
all right. Thank you. We'll
We made it.
adjourn the meeting.
We did it.
So